Love shouldn't hurt. It's three simple words, but those three simple words have a lot of meaning behind it. Love shouldn't put you down, shouldn't have threats, yelling, and cursing. It shouldn't make you a lesser person. If anything, it should lift you up. Typically, when we think about domestic violence, we think about the physical harm done, bruises, marks all over the body, but unfortunately, most of the time, it's much deeper than what you see. Because of being part of Alpha Chi Omega, I get to witness, hear stories, and help victims who have been affected by domestic violence. Now, let's begin about the signs of being in a domestic violence relationship. There are several early warning signs to look out for whenever you're in a relationship. Here are some of the physical signs. One would be if you're persistently getting pressured to have sex, or them forcing you to put on something, do something. And then some more would be having an explosive temper or immediately feeling remorseful. One example of that would be being jealous, insecure, overly possessive, and etc. All those. Not only can it be physical, but it can also be very emotional, and those are usually the worst kind. For instance, constantly putting you down and making you feel worthless. That is not okay. If they call you any kind of hateful name and saying you will never be good enough for anything, you should get out of the relationship. If they're being jealous, insecure, possessive in any way, leave. Another sign would be them isolating you from your family, friends, and telling you who you can or cannot connect with on just a daily basis or social media. From the points just made, domestic violence is more than just getting hit. It's anything and everything from physical to emotional harm that makes you feel like a lesser person. There are so many men and women affected by it. Here are some surprising statistics. Domestic violence is the leading cause to injure for women, more than car accidents, muggings, and rapes combined. Another one is every day in the U.S., more than 3 women are murdered by their husbands or boyfriends, which is sad. Domestic violence victims lose nearly 8 million days of paid work per year in the U.S. alone, the equivalent of 32,000 full-time jobs. And lastly, nearly 1 in 5 teenage girls who have been in a relationship said a boyfriend threatened violence or self-harm when you wanted to break up with them. As you can tell, domestic violence is a major problem in the United States. If you're in one or know someone in a violent relationship, here are some ways to help or even save them. As hard as it is just being in an abusive relationship, it can be even harder to get out of one. First way is to get help. There are several websites that you can go to for information about domestic violence and how to get out of one, such as loveshouldn'thurt.net, loveisrespect.org, and even calling the police or letting close family and friends know and get you out of the abuse. And also, you need to know ways of avoiding even more by being true to yourself, spend time alone in order to figure yourself out and love yourself, guard your heart and mind, watch out for manipulators, and never be afraid to take a stand. If you know someone dealing with this, here's some do's and some don'ts when helping. Do's are ask if something's wrong, express concern, listen and validate, offer help, and support his or her on their decision. The don'ts would be Wait for him or her to come to you, judge or blame, pressure him or her, give advice, and place conditions on your support. No matter how bad violence is, knowing that someone's always there to help, whether it's from websites, police, or family, friends, no matter what, just know you're never alone. And as you can see, domestic violence is both physical and mental, happen to both men and women, everywhere. However, that doesn't mean you can't stop it from happening. Always remember to live without pretending, love without depending, listen without defending, and speak without offending. Love shouldn't hurt. Remember those 3 simple words. That's me looking at